For class today, we're trying to use reclining postures to then get into a half moon. So to prepare the hips for ardha-chandrasana, the half moon posture. And then we'll use that same logic and try and get into something similar, not the complete one, but something similar to a warrior three as well. So basically, when we're on the ground, first we'll open out the hips, all right? And then we'll go into the half moon. We'll then go onto the ground again, prepare the back a little bit, prepare yourself to sort of hold your leg and your torso in that one straight line and go into a very easy form of warrior three. That's the plan for today. The thing is, when you go to the half moon, I'd like you, if possible, I'd like you to use a wall. Because when you have the wall behind your back, you're not so concerned about balance. But then, with that aspect of balance or falling down or controlling yourself over there, with that aspect out of the way, you can then focus more on all the other tiny things and really try to open the hips. So, you need a wall. Now, it doesn't matter if the wall is not on camera, but you need the wall to get into this. All right. So it has to be a slightly long surface and you'll be resting over here with your right hip. Now, in this case, my right hip touching the wall with my shoulders flat on the wall. And over here, I can then focus on opening the hip out, focus on keeping the activity going on in that raised leg, in the standing leg, and in the torso. So much better if you have a wall. Now, if you don't have a wall, doesn't matter. Just do it for shorter time. That's all. Come on up. Let's start with a few Surya Namaskars. Come to the front of the mat. Now, the Surya Namaskars we're doing today are slightly different. We're not doing the traditional stuff. This will keep changing. So don't go into autopilot. Just stay with me. Feet together, palms together. And release. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, forward bend down. Very gentle, very easy. Left leg back, let's keep it straight. And now turn the back foot flat and come on up into a warrior two. Wait here for a few seconds. While you're waiting here, make sure your hips are open. Do not let the right knee track inward. Hands down to the ground and step back into your plank. Now to the floor, knees, chest, and chin. Inhale into a cobra, as less as you like. Exhale into down dog. Left foot all the way forward, right leg straight. Flatten the back foot and come on up into warrior two. Go down to the ground again with your hands. Lift up the right heel first and then step into that forward bend. Breathing in, up and behind. Straighten, let go. One more of that. Inhale up. Exhale down. Right leg back straight. Flatten the foot. Virbhadrasana 2. Down to the ground and plank. 8 pointed salute, knees, chest, and chin. Inhaling into cobra. Exhaling into down dog. Right leg forward. Back foot flat, warrior two. Hands down to the ground. Lift up the heel and then forward bend. Fold over. Breathing in, up and back. Straighten, release. Now, almost the same thing with a tiny difference. When you step back into your lunge, you won't step back too long because this time things change a bit. Instead of doing warrior two, you're just doing the ready position for the triangle. That's it. We're not going down. All right. Just the ready position. But like the focus today, try and get those hips open, facing the side, chest facing the side. Just stay here for some time and then we'll change over. So all I'm saying is when you lunge, don't step back too much. Let's do this. Two more. Feet together, palms together. Calm down. Exhale, release. Start. Inhale up. Forward bend. Left leg back, not too long. Back foot flat, come on up. Ready position for triangle. Both legs absolutely straight. Right knee bent, down to the ground, and plank. To the mat, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Out, down dog. Left leg forward. You might have to shorten the position a little bit. Back foot flat, come on up. Ready for triangle. Left knee bent, hands down. Lift up the right heel, stepping forward. Forward bend, and inhale, up and back. Straighten, release. Last one. Inhale up. Forward bend down. Right leg back, not too long. Flatten the foot. Ready for triangle. Bending the left knee, hands down, and plank. To the mat. Cobra, chest up. Exhale, downward dog. Right leg forward. Shorten the stance a little bit. Come on up. Right knee bent, hands down. Lift up heel first and then push yourself into a forward bend. Inhale, up and back. Straighten and release. Now we'll do some groundwork. Get down on the ground, lying down on your back. Starting with a reclining butterfly. Soles of the feet touch as close to the hips as you can manage and lie down. If your shoulders are okay with it, arms back, keeping the pose a little active. But if your shoulders don't like this, you can just relax your arms beside you. All right, release your arms, knees pointing up to the ceiling. Cross your shins, hold on to the feet or the knees, and roll up into seated position. Next, same thing, butterfly, bound angle, but seated. Soles of the feet touch, knees out to the side, and we'll start with hands behind us and leaning back a little bit. This just makes it so much easier. Lean back, doesn't matter. The idea is to prevent the slouch. So push, chest open, flat back. And now that you're used to it, walk your hands closer to yourself so you're sitting upright. But today we'll still keep the hands behind. We won't go forward and grab the feet. This is all we're doing today. Keep pushing those thighs apart. You're trying to get your thighs down to the ground, if possible, of course. Keep trying to open them out. Beautiful. Lean back, release. Now, let me show this to you first before we actually do it. And I'll show it to you with a sideways view and a forward view. You're first sitting down in something like a child pose, but with the knees as far apart as possible. From here, you'll go forward and down. Maybe you're on your forearms, maybe you're flat down, whatever, doesn't matter. All right. But here comes the tricky one. And I will do this sideways as well so you can see it. So after this, you will lift up a little bit and move your hips forward and maybe lie down flat on the ground. Maybe, maybe not. Okay. The thing is that you don't have to go all the way down to the ground. Let me give you another point of view. So I'm here, knees as wide apart as possible. That's done. Come up a little bit. Now watch the hips. Move forward, move forward. Your feet stay where they are. And you're welcome to stop on your forearms. Only if possible, you'll go down to the ground and rest. Okay? The thing is, you don't have to go all the way down. That can be pretty strong, in which case you're resting on your forearms, but keep your belly active. You don't want the back dipping like that too much. Keep your belly active and stay high up. Fine? That's the next one. Let's do this. Now, it's a good idea to do this sideways on your mat because it protects the inside of the knees. Feet together, knees apart as much as possible. Hands on the ground, breathe in, and exhale, start moving forward. Rest on your forearms for some time. And if that is okay, go all the way forward and down. Slow, look up, push yourself back, 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 back. Yeah, just halfway up. And now we're trying to move the hips forward. If that's too much for you, just go back into the previous posture. Breathe in, start moving your hips forward. So you lift your hips off your heels. And maybe you're just waiting here. Maybe you've gone down to the forearms. Maybe you've gone completely down to the ground. Pushing with your hands. Come on back up. Then walk your hands back. Your hips are on your heels again. And very slowly get your knees together. And that bit is done. Legs out in front of you. Give your knees and your feet a little bit of a rest. Straight legs, leaning back a little bit. Point and flex the feet. Shake them side to side. And then a little bit of a bounce in the knees. Very gentle. Okay, that's enough. Now things change. We're lying down on the ground. Use a belt if you need it. Let's go. Lying down. Right leg up. Grab only with the right hand. Only with the right hand. Left leg straight on the ground. Left arm out to the side. Now from here, 3 times. Right leg to the right and back up. Inhale out. Exhale up. Inhale open. And stay there. And let's return. Release. Change. Use a belt if you need it. Left leg up, grabbing only with the left hand. Right leg straight on the mat. Right arm out to the side. And let's go 3 times on the left leg. Inhale, left leg to the left and up. To the left and up. Last one, to the left, staying there. Inhale, return, and release. Let it go. All right. Next, Anantasana, infinity posture. Lying down on your side. And once again, if you need a belt, that's okay. But maybe you just need to grab the calf rather than the foot. So you decide how much you want to do. The idea is to keep the body absolutely straight on the ground. Do not flex at the hips. Lying down on your left side, right knee up towards your shoulder. Now grab what you can. So easiest thing to do is grab the calf from outside. Slightly harder, grab the big toe. And even stronger, grab the foot. Whichever one you choose, right leg straight to the side. Beautiful. Release. And let's change sides. Lying down on your right, absolutely straight. Left knee up towards your shoulder, not in front of you, towards the shoulder. Grab your foot whichever way you like, or maybe even grab the calf. And let's go left leg up. And release. Relax. Let it go. Now sit up for a moment. Let me show you what's happening next. Now for these, you'll have to move to a little to the side of the mat, once again to protect the knee. Now we're doing 3 things. The first one is fairly simple. In fact, it's a resting posture, but then things change a little bit. Now for the third one, watch my foot. Watch the foot. So I'm lying down closer to the left side of my mat. You can even get off it if you like. Face down, right knee out to the side. And that's the first one. And it's just resting over here. Just resting. Let it go. After a few seconds or a few breaths, I'll say right leg straight. Now, it doesn't have to be too high. About hip level is good enough. But if you like, you're welcome to pull it higher up. And again, you will wait. Facing down into the ground. Do not turn to the side, face down. Now, here's the third one, and this is the confusing one or the tricky one for many of us. You see that right foot? Try and rotate the leg so that the toe points slightly upward to the ceiling. That is the difficult bit. Now, if you feel your leg is slipping on the ground, you can also just hold on to it. That's fine. But otherwise, you're here. That's what you're hoping to achieve. Okay, so let's do all 3 of these. Lying face down on the ground, closer to the left side of your mat. Let's begin. Right knee out to the side, as high as you can comfortably manage, and just relax. Second stage, right leg straight out to the side. Maybe you can pull it up a little higher if you can, of course. And again, waiting there for a few breaths. And here's the final one. Try to rotate the right leg at the hip joint so that your toes point slightly upward. Now, maybe you're holding on to the leg because your leg has started to slip away, and that's okay. All right, release. Right knee bent, both legs absolutely straight, lying down flat on the ground. Now move a little to the left side of your mat. Sorry, to the right side of your mat. So move a little to the right side of your mat. Okay, because this time we'll be taking the left leg out. Lying face down, closer to the right side of your mat. First one, really easy, left knee out to the side. Left leg straight out to the side. If you like, pull it a little higher. If you like, take it a little lower. Doesn't matter. And here's the final one. Rotate at the left hip, trying to point your toes up to the ceiling. Now, it doesn't have to be completely perfect. Just try a little bit. Even if it comes off the ground a little bit, if you're pointing your toes slightly upward, that's fine. If your heel is slipping, you're welcome to grab onto the shin or something. Left knee bent, starting to release. Legs back. Wait for a few moments, and then slowly help yourself up. Now, if you have the luxury of a wall, feel free to use it. The only difference is that if you don't have a wall, you might come down a little faster, and that's completely understandable. That's okay. In fact, you can even use blocks. We're now going to the half moon pose with your back against a wall. Let's do this. Come on up. Back against the wall, right leg forward, left leg back. So it looks like you're doing a triangle against the wall for now. Keep your left hand on your hip, chest facing the side. And let's go. Right knee bent. Get your right hand to the ground, lift up the back leg. Make sure your chest is facing the side. And if you have the wall, you can now even take that left arm up without any fear of losing balance. Now, over here, especially if you have a wall behind you, if you have the luxury of a wall behind you, focus on opening the hips out. And you do that by activating the right leg at the thigh and then activating the left leg at the foot and the thigh and the butt. And we're staying for a while. Left hand on hip, right knee bent, back foot touches the ground first, and then you come on up. Wonderful. Let's change direction. Left foot 90 degrees. So you're facing the left now. Right hand on hip, chest facing the side there. Let's do this. Left knee bent. Reach your hand for the ground or the blocks. Lift off the back leg. Maybe right arm up for some of us. And now let's start working on that hip opening. Willing the hips to open by the activation of your leg muscles. So really strong legs. You should be able to feel your thighs active. Breathe easy. Make sure you can feel your entire back flat against the wall, or should I say the entire shoulders flat against the wall. That should be enough. Right hand on hip, left knee bent, back foot touching the ground. Come on up. Wonderful work. Step together and come to the front of your mat. We're doing a couple of Surya Namaskars again. Front of the mat. Feet together, palms together. Now again, the Surya Namaskars change a little bit. We're not doing the traditional stuff. So don't be in a hurry. Feet together, palms together. Release. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, down, forward bend. Left leg back straight. Now from here, high crescent lunge, body up, arms up. Hands down to the ground and plank. Down to the mat, knees, chest and chin. Inhale into cobra. Exhale into dog. Left leg forward, right leg straight. Come on up, arms up. Hands down, step together, forward bend. Inhale, up and back. Straighten, release. One more of those. Inhale up. Exhale down. Right leg back straight. Arms up. Hands down, plank. To the mat, knees, chest, chin. Chest up, cobra. Hips back, down dog. Right leg forward. Come on up. Arms up. Hands down. Forward bend. And inhale. Up and back. Straighten, release. And we still have two more sun salutations, but again with a difference. Now, if you remember the last time we had to shorten the lunge because of a certain thing, we're doing something similar again. So this is what it'll look like. Arms up, down, left leg back, not too long, yeah, not too perfect, a little shorter than usual, because from here you're coming up, both legs absolutely straight like a pyramid, okay? But arms up, a bit of a curve if you can manage. The key here is you're facing forward. You're not turning the hip, not even a bit. Absolutely forward facing. That's what you're hoping to achieve. All right. So you'll have to adjust the distance in between your feet for that. Let's do two of these and then we can continue with the rest of practice. Feet together, palms together. Release. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, down, forward bend. Left leg back, not terribly long. Now turn the heels slightly inward, not completely. Come on up, up, both legs absolutely straight, arms up. If you can, a little bit of a curve. Facing forward. Hold for a couple of seconds. Right knee bent, hands down to the ground, stepping back into a plank. Down to the mat, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Left foot forward. You might need to step a little closer first and then come on up. Straight legs facing forward, arms up, and a bit of a curve. Left knee bent, hands down to the ground, and step into ardha-chandrasana, forward bend. Breathing in, up and back. Release. Last one for the day. Inhale up, forward bend down. Right leg back, not too long. Heel turning slightly inward. Inhale up, straight legs, arms up, bit of a curve. Hips facing forward, remember that. Left knee bent, hands down, plank. To the mat, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra, chest up. Exhale, down dog, push back. Right foot all the way forward. Left foot a little closer first, and then come on up. Ready for the pyramid, but not really doing it. Right knee bent, hands down. Step together. Uttanasana. Inhale, up and back. Straighten, let go. And now let's get to the ground and prepare the posterior chain, which is basically the back, the hammies, the legs, everything on the back. Let's prepare that a little bit. Lying face down on the floor. Starting first in easy cobra, saral bhujangasana, forearms on the ground, and wait here for the first few breaths. Now, if you'd like to make this easier, you're welcome to take your hands a little further forward. If you'd like to make this next bit a little easier, otherwise, you can stay here. And what I'm going to ask you to do is straighten your arms. Now, remember, the focus over here, we're going to be lifting one arm at a time. The focus over here is not to tilt and sort of move the shoulders up and down. Keep your shoulders as steady as possible. On the inhale, right arm up, down, up, down with control. Last one, up and down. Let's do the left, up, down. Do not swing your shoulders, left, up, down. Last one, left, up and down. Wonderful work. Elbows down, head down. Wait for a moment. Both hands forward. Absolutely straight arms. Push your fingertips into the ground so that the chest comes up a little bit. Now, as of now, we're not lifting the leg. We're just trying to work the upper back, so it's only the arms. Okay, let's go. Both arms. Inhale, up, down, up, down, up, and down. Release. Head down. Relax for a moment. Fine. Let's take the focus a little further back down the line. So let's take it in the lower back. Hands beside your lower ribs. So not near your chest like a cobra, a little lower than that. Inhale, chest up, look up just a bit. And let's go right leg up. Absolutely straight. Doesn't have to be too high. Down. Right up. Down without turning at the hip, without messing around with the shoulders. Last one, right up and stay there. No bending at the knee. Release and head down for a moment. Change. Hands near your lower ribs again. Chest up. And let's go left leg 3 times, holding at the last one. Inhale, left up. Down. Absolutely straight leg, no turning the hips. Left up. Down. Third and last one, stay there. Left up. And down. Head down. Relax. Now we'll do that position again, but with both legs up. And because it's both legs, I don't really like moving because that could give you a bit of a strong contraction in the lower back. So we'll just hold the position. Hands near your lower ribs. And let's finish this. Inhale, legs up, chest up, both legs up. Now it doesn't matter how high the legs they are, but keep them absolutely straight. And relax, release, let it go. Slow, help yourself up. Now, with the next one, you have a choice. So I'll show you two options, and you can do any one of them depending on how your wrist feels. Okay, so if your wrist feels a little weak and you don't like putting too much pressure on the wrist, you can do this first option, which I'm about to show you. And all you do is get into a two-legged platform or a glute bridge. We won't really call it a shoulder bridge yet because we're not curving, all right? It's just a flat line. So from here, you'll take that right knee up, wait for a moment, right leg straight, and then you'll hold that right leg in line with the left. Try not to go lower, try not to stay higher, more or less in line with the right leg, and stay here for a while. After a few seconds, down, rest, and of course, change the leg. Now, that's if you don't like to stress your wrist out. If you'd like to get a little more adventurous, this is what you will do. And of course, if we had the time, we would have done all possible options, but I'll just ask you to choose one of these. So you're now in an easy reverse plank, also known as the table. Breathing in, chest open, breathing out, hips up. Now don't look forward like this. Keep your neck more or less neutral, and you'll go right knee up. And here you'll go 3 times. Straight, bent, straight, bend. The thing is, when you straighten the leg or when you bend the knee, try not to rise and fall with the hip. Your hip stays exactly where you are. So what you don't want happening is that, all right? Your hips do not fall and rise every time. Try and keep your hips exactly where they are. Don't look forward too much because that will make you drop your hips. Neck is either neutral or head dropped back. One of those. Let's get into position. Some of us are lying down on the ground. Some of us are seated with the hands behind. You choose. Breathe in, shoulders open. Breathe out, hips up. Right knee up. And let's go right leg straight. Now, people who are in the easy reverse plank will keep moving. Right knee bent, right leg straight. Right knee bent, right leg straight. And finally, right knee bent, foot down, and relax for a moment. Okay, hips down, relax. Let's finish this. Inhale, chest and shoulders open. Exhale, hips up. And left knee, lift off. Left leg straight and bent and straight and bent. Last one, straight and bent. Foot down, hips down, and relax. Sit back, relax. Yes, that was a bit of work. So it's a good thing we were moving because holding it steady for too long is actually a different game altogether. Anyway, now we're here. All that we just did, let's see if that will help us hold a really proper warrior three. Now, feel free to use blocks. Even 2 blocks is a good idea. If you don't have 2 blocks, use a chair and you can keep your forearms on the chair. And the reason I'm saying use blocks or a chair is because I'd like you to keep your standing leg absolutely straight. That is the added condition today. Very often I say you can bend the standing knee, but today I'm saying standing leg straight. So please use blocks or even a chair. Let's go. 2 blocks in front of you or just a chair. And of course, if it's a chair, you'll rest your forearms on it. Standing up. Let's prepare the hammies a little bit first. Hands on your hips, breathe in and breathe out. Fold over into a halfway forward bend, just halfway. You don't need to go any deeper than this. Straight legs. Resting your hands on your shins, looking slightly forward, trying to keep your back flat. Excellent stuff. Let's release. Knees bent. Come on up. Now comes the fun bit. Right leg forward, left leg back. All right. Very important. Lift up the back heel. Lift up the back heel. You can also lift it later, but just remember to lift up that back heel. This is to ensure that your hip doesn't turn when you actually get there. Bending the right knee, go forward, hands on the ground or forearms on the chair, whatever. Nice and slow, left leg up in the air, around hip level only. And finally, because you have a little bit of support today, right leg straight. That's it. Now try not to put too much weight on those blocks or on the chair. Imagine you're sort of holding yourself on your own steam. So don't put all your weight very heavy on that support. Absolutely level hips. Left leg super straight, right leg super straight. Flat back, looking slightly forward. And again, because we have support, we can stay longer today. That's it. Right knee bent, back foot touches the ground. Inhale up. And let's change legs. Change legs. Left forward, right back. You can lift up the right heel now, or you can lift it up later after you touch the blocks. Left knee bent, hands down. So now, this time, I did not lift my heel to start with, so I got to make sure that I lift it up now. And that ensures that my hips are level. Okay, let's go. Lifting up that right leg in line with your hips. And whenever possible, left leg absolutely straight. Look slightly forward, slightly. Try not to depend too much on your arms and hands. Level hips, no turning. Your blocks or your chair should be directly under your shoulders. Absolutely straight legs, both of them. Right leg straight, really straight. Keep thinking about it. If you're not thinking about it, it's going to start bending. That's it. Left knee bent, right foot touches the ground. Nice and gentle. Inhale up. And that's it. We're done with practice. Let's get down to the ground and close up. Keep your blocks aside, keep them out of the way. Now, there's not much over here, but let me show it all to you so you don't have to keep looking up every single time. Let me just show all three of them to you. You're lying down on the ground, knees bent, feet apart, fingers interlocked under your head. The first one's fairly simple. Feet apart, dropping the knees to the right, hold for some time, drop to the left. Second one, right leg in figure four, and then drop to the right. Stay there for a while, change legs. Now, here's the last one. Release your hands, right leg in figure four, and then try and pull that shin down towards your body. You can use different grips. You can maybe go fingers interlocked behind the thigh, or the one I prefer is pulling at the foot with one hand, pushing at the knee with the other. And this looks like you're doing less, but it's a lot more effective because you're constantly pushing that knee out. Another thing to focus on is don't let the hips roll off the ground. Keep your hips down on the ground as much as possible. It'll seem like you're doing less, but actually you're working a lot more. All right, so that's the last three to finish off the class with. Lying down on the ground, knees bent, feet apart, fingers interlocked under your head. Breathe in. Exhale, drop to the right, and stay there. Just relax, don't push it. Come on up and exhale, drop to the left. Remember, your feet are still apart. Come on up. Right leg, figure four. Breathe in. Exhale, drop to the right. Come on up. Change legs. Left leg in figure four. Exhale, drop to the left. Back up. Release the leg. Release your hands. And let's go right leg in figure four. Keeping your entire back, including your hips, flat on the ground. Try and get your shin, your right shin, towards you. While you're doing this, make sure that the right knee is being pushed out a little bit. Keep your tail on the ground. We're not rolling it off. Release. Change. Left leg figure four. And using your hands appropriately, try and get that left shin a little closer to you. Entire back flat on the ground. Neck relaxed. Release. Lying down flat for a minute, straight legs, eyes shut, arms relaxed, feet relaxed. Okay, knees bent. Slow, drop to the side, and then push yourself up into a seated position. Palms touch. And exhale a little bow over here. Make sure you're breathing normally.